What if the truths we accept are only fragments of a deeper reality? The illumination of Asherah invites you to join in with me as we uncover the hidden layers of meaning woven into ancient texts, sacred art, and mythological stories. This podcast is a journey for everyone who senses that there is more to this world than meets the eye, and history's secrets are finally ready to be revealed. Each episode explores the concealed information written in the language of symbols, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered when the collective consciousness has reached a point to be able to notice and understand the true meaning and purpose. Join me as we unravel the mysteries that lie beneath the surface. Subscribe now so you don't miss an episode and be among the first to solve these enigmas for yourself. I was listening to a discussion about projecting information into deep space in order to signal our presence as an intelligent life form to alien life forms elsewhere. The question being which number would be the best choice to communicate this. Suggestions included Archimedes' constant, pi, the golden ratio, Planck's constant, the speed of light, 1 over 137, the coupling constant, and even 42. 13, pi, 42, all reassuringly familiar concepts firmly planted within the sphere of our comprehension. We know what to do with them mathematically and or what they mean symbolically. We of course do not know if any ET intelligence possess the same keys of knowledge to unlock the doors of understanding regarding these figures as we do. Hearing this question made me think of all the signs and symbols found in ancient art. Pictograms which spoke loudly and clearly to the ancient understanding, yet to us are largely locked away, elusive and mysterious, enigmatic and intriguing. For many of these ancient symbols, we have not yet found the correct key to unlock the barriers to full comprehension, so we valiantly try to pick the metaphorical locks. And who doesn't love a good puzzle? Previous celebrated savants through time have solved enigmas that were tantalizingly out of cerebral reach for millennia until the cogs of awareness nudge along just enough to dislodge the stubborn blockages of perception. The information stream washes away the former confusion and the answers seem so beautifully simple and obvious, staring us in the face all along. Just as with a Rubik's Cube, the solution remains impenetrable until the penny drops about how the code works and how to apply the various algorithms to solve the puzzle, Scytales and ciphers. In much the same way, the ancient Greeks and Spartans on campaign encoded messages using a scytale, a length of leather marked with notches that needed to be wound around a stick of a particular length and circumference in order for the encoded message to become legible. Without the correct stick, it was just a strap of leather. Yet with the correct stick, the useless became transformed into the invaluable. Possessing the correct framework provided a structure upon which a line of knowledge spiraled. A simple, humble stick with the power to unlock the untold. In the hands of the unaware, it seemed like nothing more than a bit of old wood. Yet, to those who knew the correct application of this simple yet elegant system of encoding information, it became a wooden punctuation mark delineating between the potential for victory and heroic glory, or not. Reflections. When within a hall of mirrors at a travelling fair or an amusement park, we know that the distorted reflections are versions of truth, but not the only truth. They are each reflecting back an image which is in accord to its particular composition, as do we all in our daily lives with our interactions with others and in our interpretation of the world around us. This is quite an important point to consider, that the mindset of our ancestors at the point they composed or implemented certain laws, customs, practices, and wrote or translated texts is also a reflection of their personal internal landscape, be it characterised by peace and equanimity, fear and greed, rationality and logic, or superstition and fanaticism. We must be cautious about letting the transient mood swings of historical figures and their personal neuroses influence our collective experience moving forward, and actively guard against the perpetuation of rhetoric from any narcissistic or misogynistic historical influences continuing to let their particular flavour of bad mood influence our collective decorum and standards above all reason and rationality. Levels of understanding. There are many ways to interpret myths and legends, and symbols by their nature are designed to be open to interpretation. The depth and sophistication of the comprehension and elucidation being proportional to the level of consciousness of the observer. After all, We can only relate to ideas, concepts, and philosophy as deeply as we are able to understand ourselves, being open and curious to explore the different facets and nuance of the symbolic, without preconceived expectation or limiting ideas about how things ought to be or what could have been possible or impossible, as far as we presume, allows for opportunity for revelation and awareness. Kabbalistic scholars teach that there are 4 levels of understanding: literal, elusive, allegorical, and esoteric. Now, that's not to say that any one is preferable or superior to another, rather that it is a gift and a blessing if we are able to utilise more than one of these and ideally be open-minded and curious enough to allow for even all possible interpretations to be considered synchronistically without one rendering all others completely redundant. Whether it be a sacred text or a deodorant advert, the content we consume either intentionally or serendipitously meets us at our point of need and understanding. What kind of guidance, comfort or motivational nudge is resonating for us at that particular point? Works of poetry or prose, artworks and scripture suddenly reveal profound truths or lessons previously overlooked. Even adverts or the idle chit-chat of a young child can be revelationary in nature if our consciousness is at a point where we are open to consider life from a different aspect. Such revelatory moments are barred when we succumb to the perils of dogmatic or rigid dualistic thinking. Rather than asserting one view as being right or wrong to the exclusion of all else, or taking a them versus us mentality, possibly we can approach these ideas in a new light of respective collaboration. In many places worldwide, local towns have friendly rivalry as to whose version of a dish is superior. Devon and Cornwall, for example, both make cream teas, yet cannot agree on which order the jam and cream must be layered onto the scone. When all is said and done, the only question we need concern ourselves with is, does it taste delicious? And if yes, great, can't wait to try both.